So good morning all. Welcome to your part two of your differences, some of the major differences where we're going to expect some interview questions on these topics. So previously we have done up to throws and throws. Now let's discuss some more differences. So what is final versus finally versus finalize? So generally final is a keyword, right? We are going to restrict your what you are going to restrict your methods. We are going to restrict your classes. You're going to restrict your variables. Once we initialize our method as a final, we can't perform overriding. Once we have initialized our class as a final, we can't perform inheritance. Once I have initialized my variable as a final, I can't alter it, right? So nothing but this is all about your final keyword. Now, what is your finally? So generally, finally is a block where we are going to use your in exception handling, right? So finally is a block which is used for exception handling along with the try and catch blocks. Remember, after try and catch, then only we have to use finally. It's not mandatory. So after try block, we can directly use our catch block. We can use directly our finally block. It's not mandatory that after try it should be catch, then only it should be your finally. It's not mandatory, my dear. So finally block is always executed whether the exception is raised or not, raised exception handle or not. Most of this block is used to close the resources like databases connections and input output resources, etc. So finally is useful for more than just exception handling. It allows the programmer to avoid having cleanup code accidentally bypass a return or continue a break. So putting cleanup code in a finally block always a good practice, even when no exceptions are participated or anticipated. So what is finalize? Just like your garbage collector. So finalize method is a protected method of java.lang.object class. It is inherited to every class you create in Java because Java having automatic garbage collections, right? So this method is called by your garbage collector. So thread before an object is removed from the memory. So it will give some time that whether we are used our resources or variables completely or not. So if you are not used means it will perform cleanup actions. Nothing but finalize method used to perform some cleanup operations of an object before it is removed from the memory. So that is about your finalize. Now let's coming to your multi-threading concepts. Generally multi-threading is nothing but performing or executing multiple threads concurrently in a system, right? So nothing but what is thread? Thread is nothing but a lightweight process. What is process? A program under execution. So generally threads, multi-threading can be achieved in two ways. One is by extending thread class, another one is by implementing runnable interfaces. So when you extend thread class, nothing but you cannot extend another class, right? So generally you cannot extend another class. When you implement runnable interface, you can extend another class. So task and runner are tightly coupled. Yes. So because you are whenever you're going to have your start run method will be invoked. Task and runner are loosely coupled. Okay. Whereas in thread in extends nothing but no code usability other than copy and paste. Is that's true. Whereas gives better code usability. So and as well as so overhead of additional methods here, no overhead of any additional methods. So maintenance of code is not easy. Maintenance of code is a lot easier. So which is better one, whether extending thread or implementing runnable interface. Runnable interface is very easier. Okay, because we don't have that much of any overhead of methods here. So always go with your runnable interfaces rather than extending your thread class. That will be very useful. So as we discuss even the throws, so throwable is the main thing. So nothing but your error and exception or subclass of your throwable. So basically throwable is also coming from your object class. So what is error, what is runtime error, and what are some exceptions apart from your runtime exceptions? Okay, just try to check it. We already discussed it. Now, majority question, what's the differences between stack memory and heap memory? Stack memory is used only by one thread of execution, whereas heap memory is used by all the parts of the application. Okay, stack memory cannot be accessed by other threads. Objects stored in the heap are globally accessible, right? So whereas stacks follows LIFO manner to free memory, whereas memory management based on the generation associates with the object. So while coming, whenever you created your object, it will be created in your object reference will be stored in your heap memory, right? So the lifetime will be in stack will be exist until the end of execution of that particular thread. Whereas heap memory leaves from the start till the end of your application execution. Usage, stack memory only contains local primitive and reference variable to objects in heap space. Whenever an object is created, it always stored in the heap memory. It always stored in the heap memory. So these are some differences between your stack and heap. Next, the main differences between your method overloading and overriding. There's many interviewers will ask this particular question in whenever you're going through with Java. So what's the differences between method overloading and overriding? These two are achieving for polymorphism, right? So first of all, so more than one method with the same name, different prototype in same scope is called as a Method overloading, nothing but having same method name for multiple methods by differing with their arguments and parameters in a single class. Whereas overriding is nothing but more than one method with the same name, same prototype in a different scope is called as a method overriding. So method overloading always happens in your inheritance, right? Nothing but subclasses. So in case of method overloading, parameter must be different. It's not, it should not be same. If it is same, it will get ambiguity. In case of method overriding, parameters must be same. Whereas in method overloading is example of your compile time polymorphism, whereas method overriding is example of your runtime polymorphism. So method overloading is performed within a class as we discussed. Method overloading occurs in two classes. So in case of method overloading, return type can be same or different. In case of method overriding, return type must be same. Static methods can be overloaded, which means a class can have more than one static method of same name. Whereas static methods cannot be overridden even if you declare a same static method in child class, it has nothing to do with the same method of parent class. Whereas here static binding is being used for overloaded methods, whereas dynamic binding is used for your overriding or overridden methods. So that's all about your differences between overloading and overriding. So that's very, very important question, and interview definitely will ask some differences between overloading and overriding. Next. So one more difference, what are the differences between serialization and deserialization? So Java is nothing a purely object-oriented programming language, right? So if you want to convert your objects into byte of streams, nothing but you want to perform byte of streams, and you want to store in your respective files or memory into databases, this process is called as a serialization. The exact reverse is called as a deserialization, nothing but whatever objects, whatever data stream is stored in your files, and again, if you want to convert into objects, is called as your deserialization. Deserialization. So that's the differences between your serialization and deserialization. Okay. So this is all about some differences of your OOPs, nothing but apart from your collections. Now I'm going to make one more video on collections. So what is collections and strings? We'll have one video on the collections and strings. Please do check. There are some differences between your linked list and array list and linked list, vectors, hash maps, and all those things, so that you can understand better in that video. You can understand better in that video. So this is all about your OOPS core topics like encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance, abstraction, multi-threading, and exception handling. So these are differences. Okay, now this is all differences, my dear. So fine.